We're back with D3ltaX85, everybody's favorite millennial. Now, what we're gonna do is you're gonna jump straight into it. Thank you for the likes, thank you for the subscribes, thank you for the comments. More activity on everything, much appreciated. So I know you'll watch. Now, what we're gonna do this episode, we're gonna focus immediately on getting us a primitive sickle made so we can start going down the farming skill line. As soon as we get the sickle made, we're gonna go out here, we're gonna look for plants so we can focus on flax. We need to get flax in the ground so it can grow, and then eventually we'll be able to make rope from that, and that's gonna be critical to us getting a cart for a little more storage capacity that we do need. And getting that in the ground is priority. I do think we left overburdened from the last episode, but what we're gonna do is take a look at this. Honestly, we're not gonna begin with the sickle. We're gonna begin with this fish here. We're gonna create another campfire because they do deteriorate. We're gonna right click the ground, create camp and campfire. Go ahead and build that out. Build. No tool necessary. Anything that's under the create camp is gonna be just with your hands. No tools. We're gonna right click, create camp, and then transfer over the materials needed to make it. And what I did is I held control, left click, dropped it right in. You didn't have to drag and drop. Get that fired up, add some fuel. We already have some billets on us. That should be enough to get what we do have cooked. So we're gonna light that. Ooh, we're gonna be a little shy. So what I wanna do here is immediately switch over. I need to put my saw back on myself. So we're gonna hit P. We're gonna drag and drop the saw right where the fishing pole is. Swap that out real quick because we're gonna need some more billets. Hit tab, right click, saw out board. We don't want to saw out a board. We want billet. And then what I'll do is I'll leave everything open. And now that I got my cursor free, which I hit tab to do that, now as I'm dropping the billets in here, I can transfer them over from my inventory to its inventory. We're out of wood here, so this still should be enough. Right click that. We're gonna prepare food, and then we're just gonna walk it down the line and cook all of our food that we caught, which begin with codfish. Mass produced. Hopefully we'll have enough fuel. It doesn't look like that's going to appear to be the case. Worst case scenario, we'll just run down and get us a log. Next up is going to be the herring. We're going to craft out, mass produce that. We are below 94 on our hunger bar, but I wanted to get this stuff cooked and we are going to run out. We're going to have to run down and grab us another log. We'll just let it burn out and it'll extinguish itself. We'll run down, grab something new. We got upgraded food here. We'll come back and cook the rest of this. And then along the way, we'll stop, craft out that primitive sickle, and then we'll have that in preparation for looking for plant and seed. Try to cook up some of this salmon. We're about to be extinguished once that billet is completely burned out. Even though it's not in the inventory, it's still rolling. Might have enough. Mass produce that trout. Let's go. Got 6. We won't have enough. And we really did need some trout. I probably should have started with the trout and worked our way up. We may have enough. It's a race between us and it burning out what 10 wood will take with the server settings that we have. We might make it. One more and then we're straight. Sweet, we're good. Extinguish that out, close these boxes, get out of this crafting menu. Now we're ready to roll. Now what we have to do is sort this out and we'll take a look and see what our quality, and we still have our variety, but we're gonna take a look at our quality and start eliminating and being a little more strict about what we put in our diet. So we got fried salmon at 40, and I'm just gonna go through and then organize these, and then I'll show you what I cull out and why I culled it out, but I'm gonna get them lined up first. Okay, finally got them organized. Now what I did is you'll see I eliminated these, I culled them out. Look at the quality, represented by the star again, 37. This, 44, 40, 41. We are now in the range of 50 to almost 70 quality food. I am going to start in this first column and eliminate these 50s. And as soon as I eliminate these 50s, if I jump substantially here to like this one, 66, I will start eliminating all of the 50 quality food. Whichever I hit first in whatever row, it's going to bump our food quality multiplier up. We're going to hit P, check that out, see where we're at. We're at 1.1. We do need to eat. We are way too low. You shouldn't let it drop that low. So we're going to go ahead and and eat this 50 codfish. Now we've eaten this fried codfish at quality 51. We jumped up to 1.3. This right here, we're gonna have to keep an eye on that food quality. It's a skill multiplier, and as you're doing an action, you're gonna get more XP per action as long as you keep driving that number up. We're gonna need to unload all of these. We're gonna save these for later. We're actually gonna feed it to our monument, pro tip. And if you look at this, mushroom. We're gonna get these mushrooms off of us. We're gonna start using the inventory that we made, and we're also gonna eliminate these apples which we went and got for taming, and we also got them because we're gonna make traps so we can start catching some chickens and rabbits. Drop these apples off, click, holding control and left click. All of that over there. We'll organize this later. It's unnecessary for you guys to sit here and have to watch me organize that. So I'm just gonna dump that. These two boards, I'm gonna right click, drop from inventory, right click, drop from inventory. I don't wanna waste them, and these containers, they won't fit in. One of them is actually regional. Now, what we can do, we're gonna run down, and remember, the last time we were in game, we found a 99 quality oak tree over here in this vicinity. We're gonna focus on finding that thing again and pull all the branches off of it. Then we'll use those branches on our new tool. Inspect, that's 63. 99 was way over here, somewhere like off the beaten path. Nope, inspect. I need to change up my default task. Right click. Now when I left click, it'll automatically inspect. That's 7. Open up the map. So it should be right in this area. There it goes. That's it right there. Go ahead and zoom in on that map. Drag it up. That's it right there. We're gonna right click and gather all the branches off of this. Let her roll through these. Tap P. Go to our crafting tab here. We're still driving up nature's lure. We are going to focus on farming. We're gonna gather wild plant right after we make a primitive sickle, and while we're down here, we're gonna chop down a mid-grade tree between 50 to 70-ish and take a log back up. Try to be as efficient as possible because we can forage for the materials that we need back at the base. So while we're going back up to the mound, we can drop off a log, and then we won't have to worry about running out of billets again. Okay, she's done, and we can take a look at our nature's lure. We actually gained 2 points. Maybe it was 78, I don't recall, but I do think it was 79. And then we'll take a look at these branches wound up coming in 2 stacks, and they're in 2 stacks because of our skill level. Even though this is a 99 tree, we won't be able to pull 99 branches until we hit level 99 off of this tree. And then we'll keep this tree around because we're going to start pulling sprouts off of it very soon. And we don't need to forget, we got to pray. We want to get this up in case we do die. We don't want to lose any of our skills. Get our alignment up, and it got rejected. Then we'll pop over to your systems tab. You can't see mine. We did hear the rejection, and what your system tab will say, which mine is behind me, it will say you need to pray with greater fervor. And then we see some deer in the distance. They usually spawn male female. We're gonna run back over here, try to find us. I did see an oak tree or an elm tree, maple tree, 50 60-ish quality. Inspect, that's 32. That's not bad for a billet and some items, so I may just take that one back, but I think there's one that's 50 somewhere close by. 63. We're gonna take this one. We already have our axe equipped. We're gonna right click, cut down, and she's gonna sit there and cut it down until it falls over. Then remember, when we have the stump left, always uproot your stump. It's gonna affect your server's ability to process and generate new trees, and it may even possibly affect animal spawning in. I don't know, possibly not, but definitely no new trees are gonna develop. Or you have a server full of stump and a lot of lag on the server. That was it. It's been a while since I played this. Prior to doing my live series a few months ago and this new series, it was a while since I played. So remembering some of this information is coming back to me as we play the game. And this is a mature oak tree, so it's gonna take quite a few chops to get this thing down. And down it goes, boom. All right, look at the stump, and we're gonna uproot the stump. You have to have your shovel equipped for this. Now we're way below 94 on our hunger, and keeping an eye on that is essential. And we need to run with we actually ate fried codfish to begin with. I need to slide this over. We have a lot of fried codfish. Drop that one down. Then we'll go back here with fried salmon, then drop down. And unfortunately, the only fried salmon we have is quality 66. So honestly, right now, these level 50, low 50s, after we eat this one, what are we at here? 56. That's not too bad, but we can take a look at our food quality. We are hovering at 1.3 right now, so that's our new baseline. We don't want to go below that, so now we're gonna right click this log, lift the object, and slowly get back to the top of a mound where our base is. See in a bit. All right, cool. We're gonna right click the ground, drop the object, use this position tool, and place. I pulled it up because by default it seems to always go into the ground. Just pull it up. No matter how high you pull it up, once you place, it's gonna drop it right down. Gravity will pull it back down. We're gonna put that billet in here, add some fuel, get that off of us. Now that our nature's lure is higher, we can make higher tools. So even though we do have materials already, now we're gonna focus on making our sickle. Our nature's lure has gone up, so now we're gonna be able to get higher quality materials out of the ground. So even though we have an inventory, I would much rather right click the ground, look for, and let's roll with materials this round. Let's forage for some higher quality materials now that our nature's lure is at 81. It's the little things like that, thinking about your material quality, that's going to increase your durability. You're going to spend less time making tools, and early on I try to make sure that my tools are improved as fast as possible. Every little tick matters in this game. Flintstone, and always remember, you search, you find fiber, you get all the fiber that you possibly can, no matter the quality level. And what I did there is I left click because that's my default task. I should have right clicked and then just gathered that item. Plant fiber, you have to be looking at the item and not the ground. Plant fiber, flintstone, and it's kind of misleading with the flintstone because if you're not really paying attention to your cursor on the screen, you're gonna wind up thinking that it's picking up the flintstone because the flintstone action is the same action, well, the same animation as looking for material. Sling ammo, we don't need any more of that right now. And remember, we want to focus on getting our branches off the tree, especially now that our nature's lure is 81 and we have a 99 quality tree. Those branches will replenish themselves. All right, we should be good for the sickle. We're gonna tap I. Now we got another cluster in here. We're gonna right click that branch, create primitive tool, primitive sickle, craft that out, and I'm gonna mass produce it because I'm gonna produce two. We're just gonna grab a bunch of these, a bunch of the wild plants, that is. All right, and I'm gonna cancel this action just by closing that window. And if you want to do the quick equip, you can just right click equip. You're gonna choose what hand tool that is on your hip to replace randomly. All right, we're good now. So next phase of this is looking at the ground again, look for, but this time we're gonna manually select wild plant. That's gonna make our farming go up. We're gonna hit P, go to our crafting tab. Now we'll begin working on our farming line. What we want to find is flax, wheat, and I am just gonna gather everything that we find right now. I would love to find flax. Flax is more rare than anything else. Potatoes, we just got wheat earlier, and then we're just gonna run around and find everything that flax seeds. That's what we want, and we want to get these things in the ground ASAP. Got more potatoes, flax seeds, great. Tap P. We can take a look at our farming line. Boom, we're already here. Now we can actually move in our forestry line and start pulling sprouts off of trees, and we'll have to begin with hazel trees and juniper trees. Then we'll be able to progress to birch, spruce, maple, pine, aspen, apple, mulberry. We want to hit 90 so we can get elm and oak, and we can move all of this stuff out of our way. Keep on with our rotation of food because we're well below 94. Always try to keep an eye on that. We're on the fried herring now. We'll hop over to this equip and stats tab. Boom, we got a tick on that. Our new baseline is 1.4 peas, and I am going to go ahead and get all of these items that we pulled up. I'm gonna look for wild plants one more time, then whatever flax we have, we're gonna immediately get that in the ground. So we're beginning farming today. Look around again, I don't see any that we missed. Actually, here's one right here. Peas. We did set look for wild plant as our default task, so guess what? All we gotta do is left click. We don't have to go through that menu anymore. Now we're going to be very specific. Wheat, we definitely want to get the wheat. We're going to go ahead and start planting that as well. Cabbage, wheat again, wheat. I do see some flax. Now see, I'm looking again. I'm not actually harvesting. Carrot, wheat, and flax. And I see an onion right there in front of us. After we harvest that, we're going to run over here, get this onion. And honestly, I think we might have one of everything by now. I can't remember the regional resources, if they were applicable here in Life is Feudal you're on, because I did play the MMO, and there is a difference in the MMO, especially now. We got one of the MMO updates applied to this game back when Bobbitt used to own the MMO. All right, I'm gonna look one more time because I really would love to have as much FLAX as possible in our first round of planting, because there's multiple stages that thing's gonna have to go through in growth and process to get roped. A cart is gonna change our lives. Run over here immediately to this FLAX. Now we're below 94 on our hunger, so we're gonna tap I and eat again in the rotation that we have going on here. Fried trout. Let's hit P. This should take the 4. Yeah, we're good. Spin around and try to isolate any FLAX that we have right now, and wheat if possible. Another onion. Nope, don't want to look for more wild plant. I have plenty of wild plants here. So you got to be able to catch that when it does that. Tap P. The hour farming is going up as we are gathering. Remember, I don't have vanilla settings for skill progression. All right, now the fun part. So what we are going to do, we're going to hit the elevation tab, which is F3. We're going to tap I. Okay, so we're good. Now we have plenty of items on us. Tap I. We've foraged quite a lot of farming, quite a lot of seeds and wild plant. We need to find soil. So let's go to P, back over to our farming line. We're at 63. A lot of these items are going to be very low, and then we're going to ditch some of them that we don't need. But whatever the level of wheat or flax we have, we're going to plant those for sure. But we need to make sure that we have the right fertile soil. There's forest soil and fertile soil. We're looking for fertile soil. We're going to hit our elevation tool, which is going to be F3. Now right click the ground and we're going to inspect the ground. I made it my default task, so now when I click left click, it'll show me fertile soil at 11. We don't want to plant our anything in 11 quality soil. We want to elevate the quality, so the quality of soil is going to matter. And let me show you something that we can do. So just sampling this, that's level 13, 25, level 5, 13, 17, 25, 11, 22, 14, 1, 7, 4, 10, 25. So let's take a look at the soil. So that's going to be, we're right on top of rock, 10, 6. So remember, ground quality matters when you are looking for wild plants. So the quality of the tile as you're looking for wild plants or any other thing is going to be, the quality of the item is going to be affected by the quality of the tile itself. And I didn't mind that in the beginning because we were just trying to get our farming up. I need to find fertile soil that's a higher quality than the items that we've produced so far, and it was like 25. So I need something above 25 to plant. Oh, 38. And while we're here, we'll go ahead and look for wild plants again. Might as well harvest some while we're at it. I know right around where that 38 tile was. Got some more wheat. This game can get very meticulous. It just depends how OCD you are and how fast you want to progress with your quality of everything by focusing on making the right moves early on, and every time you're trying to increase your quality as much as possible. Looks like we did not render any flax seeds that time. While we're here, I'm going to inspect the ground again. It was our default task already. Yeah, that's level 5. I'm not about that life. Look in this area again. Yep. So this is looks like most of these tiles are going to be in the 30s here. 6, 17. Run a little further over. Ooh, 1. That's horrible. 68. Let's look for wild plants here. We're below 94 again on our hunger, and we were cycling through. We're going to jump back to the top. Fried salmon. Hit P so we can track our food quality. Boom. We jumped up to 1.6. Now we'll walk it down. I got a feeling I want to move away from this level 50 stuff right now because that substantially bumped us. Let's call it the low 50s. We're going to eliminate. All right, this is mid 50s. We can roll with that. All right, let's see if we found any flax seeds. Maybe so, maybe so. Yeah, so right now I'm going to be very particular and only get flax seeds and wheat. Wheat we're going to use to feed the animals that we're going to tame, but we want to build up a surplus of it before we start having any large animals. You are going to use straw for some of the buildings, so we'll have some straw to be able to build the buildings, and the buildings won't affect the quality animals that are produced because you use lower quality straw, but we'll have it when we're ready. Okay, now I'm going to run back back over here in this area where we had some relatively decent soil. Default task is inspect. That's 37. We should have pulled some higher quality resources from hitting some of those tiles on this side. Okay, so I'm not gonna get very high soil. So with this one right here, it being 37, that's plenty for us right now with the level of our wild plants and seeds. So we're gonna lower the ground, and we're just gonna lower this tile, put soil inside of our inventory until we're overburdened. So it rejected the task. In my systems menu, it says you need to catch your breath. So we ran out of stam, and we have reached 94 again. So we're gonna drop down to this fried codfish, hit P, see if we're stabilizing or going up. Bumped it right back to 1.6. 1.6 is our baseline now. Continue to lower the ground until we're overburdened and can't carry anymore. Ran out of breath again. We'll try to lower the ground again. And while we're waiting on that, and she very well may be completely overburdened, probably. Yep, she is, because I'm at 305. My max capacity is 155. Let's hit P and take a look at our stat cap. Our agility is way too high. I'm gonna work on dropping that. So now we're gonna have to manually keep an eye on it so it doesn't drop too low. My constitution, I'll allow that to go up. Intellect, we're gonna continue to let that drop, and willpower. And remember, if you hover over, it'll give you the information that you're gonna get as you raise and lower it, the amount of points that you're gonna get towards certain items. The main consideration for me with this is extra stones of carried weight. That increases our inventory. I wanna get that up fairly high. I usually run around like 30 to 40 on that. We're hovering around 30. I might cap her out at around 40, but we'll tweak and adjust as we meet our combat needs as well. Hit tab, and we're gonna slowly run back up to the top of the mound. And then with this game, you're gonna wanna be forward thinking. We need to pre-plan the direction we're going with our base so we don't interfere with any planting that we're gonna do. I know it's gonna take longer to flatten this out, and we're gonna have to actually dig it down. So we're not gonna drop any dirt. I may just run off the edge of here because it's gonna be a while before we get to dropping dirt. Here we won't affect our farmland. So what I'm gonna do, we're about to do it efficiently. And remember the splitting trick I told you. We're gonna hold shift, left click. Now we're gonna type in 15 here. I'm gonna click in the box, highlight it, control C. We're gonna copy that, control C. Now we have it copied. We're gonna split it, boom. Do it again, double click in here. Now control V. You don't have to type anymore. And if you wanna download the mod for this, I don't have a recommendation. I've been out of that community for a while, so I don't know what's shady and what's not. So I don't want any mods on this. I'm teaching you the vanilla gameplay, little tricks that you can do to make things more efficient. And the reason why we're splitting it at 15 is that's the base minimum for being able to raise a tile level with soil. Now we have our last stack of soil split, and then we're gonna start dropping these. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the stack, drag and drop it. She's gonna place it down. We're gonna remove all this out of our way. I'm gonna leave that, and there goes the physics. I'm not paying attention, and the reason why it dropped, and it only dropped right here, is that diagonally I cannot raise this 48.7 to 48.8 over this tile by 2 points. So if I drop soil again here for perspective, it's going to continue to slide on this 46.7 until it's 46.8. Then I can go to this and drop it and make it 48.7. So that was a rookie mistake. I shouldn't have done that. We'll make our planting right here. We won't have any more issues just glancing at this situation. So we're going to inspect it, and this should be 37 now. Yep, that's where it dropped. So we'll walk a straight line here, and then we'll drop it. And I'm going to continue this until I get me a little plat here, and then we'll begin planting immediately after. Okay, now we've dropped all of our stacks of 15 fertile soil. We're going to begin planting. Now we'll right click, so we want to focus on FLAX. So FLAX is what we want to plant. It should be our default task. I right clicked it, so now we can left click and automatically just plant all of our FLAX. Right click it just to check. Yep, it is our default, and we're going to plant all of the FLAX that we have until we have no more. Then we'll move on to our wheat. Okay, we've ran out of flax seeds, and we are below 94 on our hunger. Go back to your inventory, and we're on this row here. here. Fried herring, we'll click that. Check our multiplier, should bump up. All right, now we're gonna be hovering and swaying. So that was level 55, or was it 54? I'm gonna eliminate all the mid 50s now, because that jumps to 68. We're gonna need to cook more fish here soon. And I'm gonna eliminate that one out of the order, and then we'll jump to 60 next time. Good. This tile right here needs to be planted. We are gonna focus on our wheat for the next 4 tiles. That is our plot. Right click. So wheat, we'll put 4 tiles of wheat down, grab more soil, put down more plot, and then we'll be ready to plant anything else we want.